Hi, I'm Scott Swenson. We're at Lynn's Propane Trucks. We've got another stock truck here for you today. This is a 2020 Freightliner. It's got a Cummins ISL, 300 horsepower, 34.99 gallon tank, chrome and aluminum throughout. As you can see, chrome bumper, chrome grille. We've got the exterior sun visor, aluminum air horns up top with the aluminum snow covers, bright finish heated mirrors. Down the side, we've got the stainless steel steps, aluminum fuel tank, stainless DEF cover. On the other side, we've got the aluminum after treatment cover, stainless steel cover on the vertical exhaust, aluminum wheels, stainless deck, fenders, oversized meter box. It's a beautiful truck. As you can see also on the front here, we've got strobe lights in the headlight enclosures. Those are on a factory rocker in the cab, and they work in conjunction with one on the rear head of the tank that we'll look at in a couple of minutes. Let's take a look inside the cab at some of the options. Just to the right of the steering column here, we have the rocker switches. So up top, we've got one for utility lamp. That's your work lights on the lower rear corners of the cab, and then two on the rear head of the tank. So those light up all around the truck. Really, really nice safety option. Another nice safety option right beside it is the beacon switch or strobe lights. So we have the two in the front headlight enclosures we just saw, one on the rear head of the tank. Those roadside deliveries, doesn't matter what direction the traffic's coming from, you're going to stand out to them. Right next to that is the locking rear differential switch, driver controlled right from the cab. And then below that, we've got the Allison selector switch. Moving across, power windows, power locks, heated mirrors, exhaust brake. We've got our rocker switch here for the regeneration. Two 12-volt receptacles for charge your phones, your GPS, in-cab routing systems, whatever you need it for. Stereo, very nice stereo in this truck. AM, FM, CD, MP3, USB, whatever you need with that. You'd be all set. Moving across here, we've got our monitor for our backup camera. So this is tied into the reverse circuit. Put it in reverse, the monitor comes up. We have a camera right on the rear head of the tank. So that totally eliminates the blind spot directly behind the truck. It's a really, really nice safety feature. We have a position here so that you can easily switch between the monitor and your mirrors here. And then you've got your driver's side mirrors. So you basically have 2 points you're looking at, not 3 like when it's in the middle of the dash. Makes things really easy to use, right from your spot mirror to your monitor, and then your other mirror as well. This truck has a 3-function remote: PTO, throttle, and e-stop. You only need the emergency stop button on these, but almost everyone is getting at least a 3-function nowadays. It's nice for your drivers. They can haul the hose out to the customer's tank. Right from there, start the PTO, kick the throttle up. As the tank fills, kick the throttle down, shut the PTO off right from the tank. One of the things with that is that your PTO and your pump are running less. You're only running pretty much while you're making a delivery. So it's less time on your pump, longer pump life. The other thing is, when you only have the single function, they tend to live on the dash. Now, drivers are required to carry these by law while they're making the deliveries, but if they don't use it, a lot of times it just lives right there. So they get pulled over by DOT. It's been sitting there for 6 months, battery's dead, you get a nice hefty ticket because your shutdown's not working. Moving down over here, printer stand. We've got a custom printer stand. We make these custom to every single cab. They are solid. They're not rattling, rocking around as you're driving down the road. Right here we've got an aluminum ticket holder. We see a lot of trucks come in for service with tickets strewn all over the cab, all over the dash. We put this here just to help your driver stay a little bit organized. Also on here we've got you see this little extension here with a bolt pattern. This is pre-set up for ram mounts, the ball and the arm mounts. So if you have any in-cab electronics that you use, it's easy to add it here. You know, 4 bolts and you're good to go. You can put your electronics in the cab. Let's take a walk to the side of the truck and we'll look at some of those options there. Again, the aluminum wheels, bright finish mirrors, stainless grab handle, stainless steps, aluminum fuel tank, aluminum DEF cover. These are the 2 work lights mounted on the lower rear corners of the cab we had talked about. So they're illuminating down the side of the truck. We've got 2 on the rear head that illuminates the entire back of the truck. Really nice safety option. Also up here, while we're here, just on the doors, we've got a nice aluminum kick panel here in the high wear areas. It's under $15 option. It's well worth the money. Helps keep the truck looking good over the years. Also, the seats here, heated seats, lumbar supports, fully adjustable, really nice for your driver, especially those winter months when it's really cold. They've got those long days, you know, they're working 70 hours a week. It's nice to have a little comfort. Makes them a little more productive too when they're more comfortable. Got a chalk block holder here, nice and easy to use, just a flick of the wrist. A lot of times we'll see all different ways that they secure this load, bungee cords, whatever it is. It's tough to use, it's a pain. A lot of times the drivers don't use it. Where it's nice and easy, hopefully they're using these every single stop. Easy in, easy out, rubber on the front and the back so they're not rattling as you're driving down the road. Nice and simple. Stainless fenders, stainless fender brackets. We set this mud flat back a bit so you can't trap it between a snowbank and tear it off. Because we do that, we've got the stainless spacer here. Let's take a look at the back of the truck and some of those options. All right, starting up top, we've got the two work lights. Working in conjunction with the two in the lower rear corners of the cab. Light in the sides, light in the back. I mean, completely light your entire work area back here. Those nights when you're making the late night deliveries, it's snowing, there's ice on the ground, you can see where you're walking, you can see where you're working. It's a really, really nice safety feature. Another nice safety feature right beside that is the strobe light. So we've got the two in the front headlight enclosures, two back here. You got the roadside deliveries, doesn't matter which direction the traffic's coming from, you're gonna stand out. Just above that is the camera for the backup camera. We saw that mounted on the A-pillar on the passenger side there. Nice location, switch between the monitor and the spot mirror really easy. But as you can see, that's completely eliminating the blind spot directly behind the truck. Another really, really nice safety feature. Moving down, we've got the recessed float gauge. Most of the time you're going to see a rain guard over that. And inevitably you see the two streaks running down the tank, two rust streaks. With this, you don't have that. It's recessed. Truck gets in an accident, you don't have to worry about anything. It's protected, it's inside the tank. On the back of the truck, probably the best feature. It's stainless steel deck, but the best thing is that it's a lower deck. Most of the builders you see, they're going to take a prefab deck, they're going to get a cabin chassis from the factory, chassis rails come out from behind the rear axle, take a prefab deck, throw it up, bolt it on, done. The problem with that is a prefab deck on top of the chassis rails puts it much higher. So your fills are higher, your meter's higher, your hose reel's higher. Everything you're working with off the truck is up above your center of gravity. As you can see with the lower deck here, everything's within my center of gravity, whatever I'm doing back here. The fills, they're lowered because we've got the lower deck. They're angled. I got the 2-inch fill line from the plant in the winter. It's cold, it's not flexible. Right under your arm, comes right up nice and easy. It's the right angle, the right height. It's designed for your drivers. This truck is designed to work off of. The best feature on the back. Moving along though, we've got an oversized meter box here. Because it's oversized, we've got a nice little shelf here. You can keep your gloves, fittings, anything you're using throughout the day right here in the back. Also, we've got a spray bottle holder here to do your leak check. It's also used in the summer for bee killer. It keeps whatever the driver needs nice and handy right here in the meter box and nice and organized. LC meter, LCR2 register, 2-stage preset. You want to drop 280 gallons and 3/10, it'll drop it right on the money every single time. We keep our hose end nozzle in the meter box, easy in, easy out. A lot of times you see the Acme right on the deck. You get to the stop, you got to unthread it. You get done with your stop, thread it back on. Not only that, it's out in the open. Gets caked with dirt, ice, grime. With this, it's protected, it's clean, it's in the meter box, and it's easy. Easy in, easy out. One other thing on the fill over here, we've got a disc. This is a safety for pull-away protection from the plant. That's tied into range inhibit in the Allison transmission. If the cap isn't put back on, when you get into the truck, you go to put it in drive, it's just going to flash back at you. It will not let you put the transmission into drive unless this cap is back on the truck, eliminating the possibility of pulling away while you're loading and still hooked up. Probably the most common accident we hear about. Moving across, we have a Henne hose reel, polished aluminum, spec for 250 feet of 1-inch hose, comes standard with 150 feet of low temp 1-inch hose. As you can see, this thing is just thrown on there any which way, and we still got plenty of room left. With most of the hoses I see spec'd on this truck, they're spec'd for just enough or just over. And what that means is, in order to get 150 feet of 1-inch hose on this, you've got to reel it up perfectly every single time. When you're out in the winter, your guys are humping, hours of service are extended, they're trying to keep up, trying to keep everyone with fuel. They're not rolling this up perfectly every time. They're getting as many deliveries as they can, and they're just throwing this hose back on here. So this is a really nice option. The other thing is you got the extra room, so it's not rubbing on the deck. You get extra hose life. Where it's just spec for enough, it's tight, and you loop up a couple extras on one side, and all of a sudden it's rubbing while you're reeling it in, and that's lowering your shortening your hose life. We also set this up on a couple of angle brackets here, so it brings it up off the deck a little more, one, but two, it allows you to clean underneath it. Leaves, grime, dirt get caught in there. It's nice and easy to hit it with a power washer. The other thing on this hose reel that's really nice for your driver is the guide master. Without this, you're guiding the hose in, you know, you got your gloves on, you've got to guide it in by hand. With a guide master, you're not getting all that all over your gloves, whatever the hose dragged through. It's easier on your back, you're just guiding it right onto the hose reel. It's a really nice option for your drivers. Let's take a walk to the side of the truck and look at a couple more options. Again, we've got the lowered stainless deck. Stainless fender spacer here with the mud flap set back, stainless fenders, stainless fender brackets, stainless steps. We've got the aluminum cover on the after treatment, stainless cover on your vertical exhaust, another stainless grab handle. If you look over here, we've got a window in the tank rail. So your drivers are out, gas is not moving, they're trying to make a delivery, they can't get anything to come out. The first thing they're going to check is that the main valve is opening. The last thing you want is your drivers under a truck that's running, period. You don't want them under there. And a lot of them, they don't want to be under there anyway if it's raining or snowing or whatever. But the first thing they want to do is see if that main valve is open when they're not moving gas. And you got to get under the truck to do it. With this window in the tank rail here, you don't have to. It's nice and simple. You guys come back, they can see if that actuator is opening and closing. They don't have to get under the truck to see it. Also, we have an oversized PTO shaft. You can't really see it here in between the frame rails, but it's oversized, it's straight as an arrow. Most of the stuff we see coming in here is at some sort of an angle. That means you've got a lot more maintenance, a lot more greasing, you go through a lot more universals, a lot more headaches, period. Oversized PTO shaft, straight and true, lasts a lot longer, a lot less maintenance. With every truck, you're going to get a binder. It's got all the information on the truck you could possibly need, but it also has drawings of everything we do. Those drawings are color-coded. So if you look in the frame rail and you see a green pneumatic line, you look on your pneumatics drawing, you'll see where it goes to on the front of the truck, what part it's connected to, part number. Same thing, where it goes to in the back of the truck, what part it's connected to, part numbers. Makes troubleshooting and ordering parts really simple. This truck's built. It's ready to deliver gas. If you have any questions, give us a call. 800-252-5467. We'll talk to you soon.